everyone, Jason here with another video. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. Most of my models on this channel have been amusement park or at least coaster related. But just recently I did a review of the Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure Metal Earth model. I also did an assembly video of a Disneyland trash can from this collection. But today I have One World Trade Center. I recently visited New York. If you saw my last video and saw El Toro, we visited New York City and World Trade Center. And I picked up this model, which I assume is going to be one of the easier Metal Earth models. I talked about how Hagrid's took about 9 hours to assemble, a lot of work, a lot of frustrations. This, however, is a one-sheet model, and it will kind of give you an idea of what the Metal Earth models are like. Or if you do happen to pick this model up, maybe it'll give you a few tips. So let's get started. So inside the packaging, there's just two things. There's the one sheet. This is an 11-piece model, as well, along with the instructions here. And so with this one sheet, you can see each of these little pieces. As I cut them out, you'll be able to see a lot of them have little slots on them. A lot of them have tabs on the edges. So basically with these Metal Earth kits, you want to line those tabs up with the slots and then either bend them or twist them to hold them into place. And that is specified in the instructions. When you see on the instructions a little triangle next to a tab, a little green triangle, that's going to mean that you twist it 90 degrees. When you see a blue circle next to a tab, you want to just bend it down 90 degrees if possible. Now for Metal Earth models, I do use quite a few more tools than I do with a Nano Coaster. I do still use the same wire cutters here. And then I also have a pair of needle nose pliers here, along with a pair of tweezers and kind of a little manicure kit that has some metal pieces. Occasionally I'll use these little batteries. I don't believe this kit has anything, although it does have one piece that's going to be round. I may use the AAA or AA battery to help shape that as well. Once we get there. Now with this kit, the first two pieces we're going to use are actually going to be the largest two. It's going to be the building and the base plate. So I'll begin by just going around each of these and cutting them out from the sheet. And then with the building, we're also going to use piece number 2, which is going to be these little round rectangles. These are going to go inside of the doors. It looks like there's 5 of them in this kit. It's only going to call for 4 of them, so I'm only going to cut out 4 for now. Now the first step here is going to actually be to attach these metal doors, and they're going to be inset at the bottom of the building. If you notice in each of these gaps, there's 2 tabs sticking in. What we need to do is those 2 tabs are on scored edges that actually have to be bent backwards into the building. So I'm just going to kind of go along here with my pliers. Actually, I'm going to use my tweezers for this. It's a tight fit. And we'll just bend each of these back 90 degrees. So there you can kind of see what it looks like with all those bent backwards inside, hopefully. And then it has us just take each of these doors with the 2 slots and then drop them over the tabs that are on those pieces. So you may have to bend just a little bit more to get those tabs to line up. And then once you have it on there, it wants you to come around and twist each of these tabs. So this is just a step of twisting to hold it into place. And so there you can kind of see what the first one is going to look like. And then you still see 3 openings. So I'm going to do the other 3 really quick, and then we'll move on to the next step. So there we have all 4 pieces assembled now. Now the next step is going to be to kind of bend the building into shape. And so to do that, you'll see the 4 flat edges. Those need to make a square at the top. Also the 4 pieces at the bottom will need to make a square. And this is also, this building's kind of angled. So it's going to make it a little bit tricky, but I'm going to take my pliers here and just kind of put them long ways right along one of these creases. You can't just kind of bend this with your hand as well. It's not quite as easy. May be the easiest way to do this model though. But we'll just kind of go around and just bend a little bit until we get that square shape that we want for this building. And then at the end you'll see that this one side has 2 tabs on it, the other side has 2 slots. Once we get those to match up, this one it's going to have us bend those over. So I got that top one lined up and in, it just popped out. We'll line up this bottom one. We'll line up the top one, and then I just like to use a little straight edge piece here to kind of roll that tab over into place. So when you twist the tab, it's still sticking out, but bending it flattens it down into place. And so there you can kind of see the shape of the building taking place, or the building taking shape a little bit. Once again, we'll do a little bit more molding. Down here at the bottom, each of the bottom edges also have a corner that's going to bend in, and it's going to angle in a little bit as well. So I'll just kind of come down here with my tweezers and bend each of these corners about 45 degrees. And kind of bend the bottom in. Now on this plate here, there's an engraved edge, that's the top. So with that, we'll want to just drop each of these tabs into place, and that'll help us kind of force the building into shape. Your shaping's not going to be quite perfect, most likely at first. If it is, then congratulations. But like I said, it probably won't be. So we'll just kind of go around and we'll kind of force these tabs into place, which is going to force the building to get into shape. And then once we have it there, it's going to have us twist each of these tabs to hold it. So we'll just come underneath here with our pliers, grab each of these tabs one by one and twist them around. You want to make sure you're holding it as tight as possible as you do that to hold it into place. And so there we're making pretty good progress. The next step is going to be to bend each of the sides down 90 degrees. It actually tells you to do that before you install the building. I find that sometimes with things like this, it's easier to do it afterwards, mostly because this one probably wouldn't be as big of a deal because the tabs are towards the middle. Sometimes there's tabs towards the edge of a base plate. And so if they ask you to reach in and twist it after you've already bent down the sides, it's really difficult. And so oftentimes I usually save the folding down of the sides until the last step. So there we have the building and the base plate. And then the next step is going to have us utilizing the rest of the pieces, so I'm going to cut them all out right now. So the next step is going to have us taking the square piece here along with the shorter antenna piece of the two and dropping that down into place. So in the middle of the circle, you'll see an etching of a circle, so that's the top of the piece with some tabs in the middle, or some slots in the middle, and some slots around the edges as well. And so we'll just kind of drop this antenna down into two of the pieces there. And then it's going to have us twist the tabs on the bottom to hold that into place. So once again, we want to hold this tight as you twist this, and that'll have it, basically freestand really easily on there. It's then going to have us take the other antenna piece, which is going to drop down in the middle of that first one, along with two tabs that are going to stick through the square plate. And we'll twist those as well. And that's going to kind of give us this top like this. We still have that round etching. And that round etching is going to be for this piece here, which we're going to use a battery to shape. I'm actually going to start with a AA battery, which I believe is too large. However, it's better to start too large and then go smaller if necessary. So I'll wrap this battery around the AA. It definitely doesn't reach around. However, it's getting that round shaping we want. We'll now take the AAA and kind of go a little bit further. And the AAA is even just a little bit too large. However, it's going to give us just the shaping we want. So that's the round circle. At the end of this piece, there's a tab and a slot. And so we want to get those to match up together and then bend the tab over to hold it into place. So we'll get this tab into the slot and then just bend it over. Now for this round piece, it's going to drop down around the antenna, and the four slots, or the four tabs on the bottom of it, are going to drop into four slots on the square plate, and so that'll also help you shape it a little bit. So we'll get each of those to line up, and then once you have those on, you'll want to twist the bottoms to hold them into place. And that is going to create our completed top. Now once we have the top completed, the next step is going to be just to install this on the building. So we'll just come over here on the side of this square plate. Each side has a slot in it, and the top of the building has four tabs that we just need to line up and press it down. And on this one, it actually doesn't have us bending or twisting the tabs. You probably could if you wanted to, but for some reason, and it does hold in place pretty well. But there's the completed One World Trade Center metal earth model. Like I said, a very simple build, much quicker than the 9 hours that Hagrid's took. This, you know, my camera's saying I'm at about 16 minutes right now, which is gonna be edited down. But ultimately a really cool build. This is available from One World Trade Center. It sold for $10. It's also available at toy stores and model stores across the country as well as online. I'll find a link to one and post that down below. But yeah, I won't make a habit of doing too many non-theme park related videos on this channel. But since I picked up this kit, I decided I would do this as well to kind of show how Metal Earth works. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't enjoy it, that's fine too. But if you want to see more videos like this, especially theme park related, nano coasters, coaster cutouts, things like that, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching and have a great day.